Well, this is a board that I had put together and was going to use for something else. As you can see, I've had something there. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And I wanted to do that and put a wreath up here, but I had the wreath, but I just didn't have right now the picks and everything to put on the wreath and make one up. So I sanded it down, and I'm going to start with something else. This is a board that I done a long time ago, and it's been sitting. You can see where I've just put it together with slats and some wood glue and brad nails. Nailed it together, and it's set for a long time, and I started with doing that, and I didn't like it, so I've scrapped that, and now I'm going with something else. So here's what I'm going to do. I want a barn on my board. So I went into my library and I typed in barn, and I come up with these. I think I want this one right here. Well, that one's pretty cool. I don't know. I'll bring this one in and see. But I'm not going to need all of it. So, and I can see this has some cutting, and I'm not going to, all I'm going to do is cut the silhouette of it out on my Cameo. So I want to ungroup all this. I can't get that. I wonder if I release the compound path, if that'll get it. No, didn't want to take that away. It's going to cut the door openings. Somebody else might know. Okay, make compound paths, what I did. Now let's see. Release them. See if I can get that stuff. Oh yeah, it takes it off one by one. Because I don't want those barn doors on there. So I'll pull them off. It looks like I've got some right here. I'll pull it off. Okay, that is just my barn. That's what I'm wanting. Now I don't want that. I don't want this. Well, I might want those doors there. I'm going to pull all this off that I don't want. I think these would be the two barn doors. Or which way would it go? I got to go look at my pattern. I'm taking you with me on this. Okay, they come in that way. All right, go back over here. That's the way they go, so they would go in here. I'm not going to cut them with it. I want to be able to cut those out and stencil them on. So, and I've got to resize this, so I want everything resized the proper way. So I don't want any of those. I'll take all that and I'll delete it. Okay, here's some checks. I'm seeing something in here. These right here. There. Oh, that's a card. That's why. It's actually a card. And that was the preparation for the card. Okay, now the barn. This fits right down on that. So when I paint this, I can actually just come straight up. I won't have to paint. Because I'm going to paint my barn on my board, and then I'm going to go cut out the roof. I don't know, I might cut these out if I have some thin wood. Either paint them out, I'll either stencil them on or get some thin wood and cut them all out. Okay. Well, this all has to go in there because I'm going to resize this. I'm going to group it for right now. And I need... Yeah. Let's see. I know I'm going to need it as big as the page can get. And I'm just going to fit the barn in there for right now. I'll mess with the other stuff here in a minute, because I want it as big as I can get it. That should cut. If it doesn't, I can cut it. It'll get most of it. Okay, I am going to pull this up. How tall do I want my barn? I got to look at my wood. Okay, I need my barn at least 20 inches tall. So I'm going to have to change my mat. Actually, I really don't need to worry about that, because I can just lay that down there and then put a ruler and bring it all the way down, so I don't have to change my mat. And I don't really need, I need it as wide as I can get it. And as you see, well, I've got them grouped right now. Part of the barn's going to be hanging down, but I'm not really worried about that, because I can just draw up to that. This is just going to be painted. You'll see when I start it. Okay, and then the reason I grouped those all together is when I made my barn larger, that the roof and this would stay proportionate to size. So now I'm going to ungroup it. Where's my ungroup? Okay, my phone went off and it distracted me. And I'm going to pull that to the side, and this to the side, and this to the side. And I think yeah, that's going to be able to cut. It's just these right here. I think I'll just cut those tips off. So I'll go over and get my knife tool. And just cut them off. And it actually probably won't even cut right in there, because it just won't cut the tips. Okay, go there so I don't do anything else. Pull those off. And that's good for that one. Now I'm going to get another page opened. First I got to copy this. Well, I'll cut it. Paste. Now let's see if we can get this on a sheet for a pattern. I really don't, when I draw this off, I'm probably going to just come up. I don't like that coming in like that, but this will get me started. Okay, I don't think this is going to work. Just about got it. There. I have it. Now, for my barn doors. Just in case I want to cut those out in wood, I'm going to cut those also. So I'm going to copy and go over here. I'm going to paste. Now, I'm going to put some cardstock in my Cameo or on my mat and cut this and this out and have a pattern for my barn. Well, I checked that other pattern. It was a card also, and I like this barn better. So I'm going to go through the same steps that I did with this here on enlarging, you know, grouping this and enlarging it and everything. And I'm going to cut this pattern out instead, because see this roof? Let's see, I'll turn that black where maybe you can see it. But see that roof just looks better to me than this one. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other and continue on. Okay, it's cut the barn out. So I'll take it out now and cut the roof out. Well, before I take these pieces out in the garage and find some wood. Well, I won't this. This I'll just trace onto my wood. But before I go cut these out, I'm going to give my board a light coat of the plaster. I wanted to show you while I'm painting, this down here is going to be a barn red all the way up to here. So I didn't see any need in coating that in white because white's a little harder to cover. Anyways, I just laid that down and just left that bare. And I'll just give this all up here a quick coat, not a full coverage of the plaster. Okay, I found this old piece of barnwood. I'm going to trace it on there with a Sharpie and then take it over to my scroll saw and cut it out. I did decide to go ahead and get a piece of thin board and just cut the door out like that, just the frame, and then I can stencil this on, or if I decide to do something else, I can do that. So I decided to go ahead and cut. At least it'll have some dimension to it, along with the roof and the barn door. Alright, I finished that up. I sanded them down, and I'm in here ready to paint my barn. And I taped my pattern on, just so it wouldn't move while I was tracing it. As you can see, there's where I didn't paint. Alright, I'll trace my pattern on, and then I'll get just a straight edge, and from that come down, and from this come straight down. I have it drawn on now, as you can see. And now I'm going to get me some color of red out and start painting this red. Well, I got all different colors of red out, and I decided to go with the Americana Tuscan Red. This is where I'm at so far. I have it painted, and I can still see I've gave it probably 4 coats of red, and I had that pretty much sanded off, and it's still coming through. It's looking worse in the camera than it does in person, but I think it's going to be alright because I'll have the barn door here, and then I'm going to do up this little wreath on there to put on it. And I'm getting ready to cut out my barn door, the part where I'm going to stencil it on, because I'll put the white. I have this, and I'll put the white X's on this and have it here, so that'll cover that up. And then, of course, this will be up in there, so just a little bit right in here showing up. I don't know. I may have to end up keeping this for myself. Depends on what it looks like, but I'm going to cut that barn door piece out, and I have this stencil on, and I'm fixing to use just black paint and stencil it on with a makeup sponge. So that's where I'm at right now. Okay, I have them all stenciled, so I'll move my roof out of the way. Start pulling these off. You know, I was going to say, anybody could do this, just if you have a board. It wouldn't be hard to freehand one of these barns, because, I mean, like, you could just take some, well, scrapbook paper or cardstock, and you just have to really draw like this part, because that's just going to be a straight line down. And then after you draw that, you know, put your paper in half like that, and then cut it the way it's supposed to go, and that both sides will be perfect. And then you just draw a straight line down. And this is just a rectangle with some X's on it. You could do that maybe with some popsicle sticks or something to give it a 3D look. And you could just paint when you go to do your roof like this, you could just paint, you know, that on and just make it a little overhang right here. And just paint it on. And then words at the, like, Dollar Tree, like Merry Christmas or whatever. I mean, you could do that without all the wood pieces and the stenciling and the sewing. Not sewing. I don't know what I was talking about. Sewing. I don't know. Just get you some cardstock and draw your top of your roof pattern out. Just one side of it. Half it. Cut it in two. Or fold it over and cut it. And then draw straight lines down. And then this you just go around. Okay, now I'm going to pull this up. And then from here, I'm going to take this to the garage, put some wood glue on it. And use my brad nailer. And put it on. Since I have the brad nailer, I'll use it. Otherwise, I could just glue it and leave it. That'll give it some little more durability. Then I'm going to bring it in and work on a wreath to go here. Okay, I've taken it out to the garage and nailed the roof on, glued and nailed the roof and the barn door. And now I'm going to take that snow that I made, I think it was 2 videos ago. And it was a little dry and I added just a dab of water in it, got it too wet, so I had to add some more baking soda into it. And I think that looks about right now. So I'm going to start putting snow on my roof. I have to stand up, see, on my sides. Don't want it to run. Hope I got it thick enough. I think it's good. Because, you know, the snow will come down like this, but it would be coated on the roof part, on the top of it. So I think I'll go around the top and put just a thin coating of that on there. And then kind of have it coming down off the top, but not totally coat this. Or not totally coat this part here. It's sticking pretty good, so that's working. I'll do this half of it, and then I'll start here, and so y'all can just kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, I do have the top of the roof coated. Now, whoa, almost. I need a paper towel. There, I think that looks good. Got a little much right in there, but that's okay. Hanging off the edge. Okay, that's the gist of it. I'm going to finish and go on around this top of this roof and bring the snow down there. And I don't know if I'll put it anywhere else. I might kind of take a toothbrush maybe and kind of drip it in here and kind of flick it to where there's kind of speckles on my red. And that might help disguise some of the lettering. And then we'll come back and work on the little wreath. I'll go find things and see how I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm putting that down, a toothbrush down, and now I did put a little more water in it because I wanted a little runnier for this. I needed some bigger lumps. And I will spray this with some, probably Krylon matte spray or something to make sure all this stays on there. Don't really like that one. There. Okay, put that down in the water, put the lid on that, and then I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. I don't like them great big ones. I'll set that aside and let it dry while I work on my wreath. So far, what I think I'm going to do is I'm wrapping these berries around, you know, those picks that you buy in a package. They're not showing up very well. Ah, turn it that way and they do. Okay. So there's that one. And I have to bring around some more. So go that way. I don't think I'm going to need all of this one. But that's going to kind of attach those. And then I'll hot glue them. Let's see where I need it. Well, I guess it will take the whole thing, about like that, okay. Let's go ahead and continue wrapping to connect that. So I'm going to cut this off. This is some berries I bought at Hobby Lobby when they were half price. Okay, then I'm going to glue that down with the hot glue gun on that. Probably going to take some pine cones and put around it. Is my glue done hot yet? Needs a stick. Yeah, it's hot enough. I'll glue that much down before it dries. Be good and glued down on there now. Yeah, okay, now some little pine cones. Okay, so which way do I want it sitting on the barn? Well, that needs to come in a bit. This is what takes me so long. Okay, about right there, I think, like that. There's a... I'm just about... I need to get all my Christmas stuff out because I think I'm missing some stuff I use. I don't know where else anything that would be. There's those kind of berries. Okay, let's just put some of these on there. I need some small ones. Probably need to make a bow to go right up here, I would think. Maybe I ought to do that. And what should I make it out of? I thought I put some... Well, I gotta go get my ribbon. I thought I put it in here. Unless I picked up the wrong box. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stop recording because it takes me a long time to decide what I want to use. And when I come back, I'll have this decorated. Like I said, probably have a bow and some rusty stars and different things on it. And I'll have it maybe the way I like it. So I'll be right back. Well, this is the best place I could find to show you because it's kind of misty and cold outside, and this was made for the front porch. And yeah, that's when I have a catwalk in front of me. Anyways, I didn't do a lot to that. I put some pine cones on it. You really can't hardly even see them. I may take it back in there and put a little bit of snow on the pine cones. If they get to stay on there. Anyways. And I hung a little star and veil. It's not focusing too well going in like that. But it's dark in here, and this is the best I can get. But I'll try to put a better picture up at the end. And I wanted to let you know, I may not have another video out this Friday. I am having eye surgery in the morning. And I really don't know how it's going to go or how I'm going to see. So I'll, if I can get something going and have something out Friday and able to see, I will do it. The next month, I'll have another eye done. So we'll see how I go. And hopefully I'll be back making videos really soon. So until the next one, we'll see you later.